Hello everyone, Lola here, and this is the fourth and last video in this mini-series, and today we are casting our spell. If you missed the previous videos in the series, I have included the link for either the playlist or each video in the description below. Alright, let's dive in. So as a start, you want to prepare your environment. That means clearing your space, the space where you are going to be working. Yes, we did the saging a few days ago. We also had our spiritual bath, and now we are about to cast our spell. So before we start, as I said, we need to prepare the space because we need to be working in a welcoming space, welcoming for ourselves and welcoming for spirit. So you want to set the mood of the work that you are about to do. I have here my candle going because I love to work with fire, and on this side I have incense going on, and here this is cinnamon. I made a video about how to make this type of incense previously, and I included the link of that video in the card and as well as the description. And why cinnamon? Cinnamon is a really good spice for bringing in money, prosperity. Next, we have 2 candles. When I do this type of work, I like to have the candle for the work in mind, and 1 candle. In this instance, it is a road opener candle. If you don't have one, you can use a white candle and just dedicate it to open road, or write on it with a Sharpie something that will stick to glass, road opener. Or another option is, if you don't have glass candle, it is fine to work with tea light candles or even a freestanding candle. But if you want me to elaborate more on the matter, let me know in the comments below so that I will dedicate an entire video on that subject. So anyways, 1 candle is my road opener, and the other one is for the work that we are actually focusing on, which is, as I said, bringing in prosperity, money, and good business in general. For this candle, the road opener candle, I will be using the Van oil. The name is Van, V-A-N space V-A-N. And if you don't have Van oil, you can use lemon verbena herbs, for instance. And the rest of my ingredient will go to my green candle. So I have nutmeg because nutmeg draws in money and prosperity. I will also use Irish moss, and this is to attract financial abundance. Also, I have to say, there is Irish moss and there is Spanish moss. You want to be careful not to confuse the two, because Irish moss is to attract financial abundance, while Spanish moss, which even looks different, is for revenge work, darker works. So really be careful about those two. My next ingredient for the green candle is bayberry oil. And it's okay if you don't have the bayberry oil or you just have bayberry root, you can use that as well. But I will be using the oil, and that is what I will be sealing the work with. Also, you see I have a Sharpie and a brown paper. Many people would tell you you absolutely need brown paper, and I don't actually abide to that, any type of paper that you can have is fine, because the main ingredient in magic, the one that you need most, is your intention. So with or without paper, if your intention is in the right place with the right strength, then you can manifest anything. A piece of paper that is for you to write what it is that you want. And what I did on this paper, instead I did write what I want but turn it into a sigil. So this is the sigil that I made, and if you want a video on sigil magic, let me know in the comments below as well, and I will make a video on sigil magic. So here I have my petition, which I wrote with a Sharpie, because you cannot erase a Sharpie. So it is written, it is there, it is forged. So that's why I use the Sharpie. Oh, and Bayberry, I use Bayberry because it does attract money, which is what we want. This is a candle that I burned when I was doing the bath. And usually the way the candle burns tells me whether I am ready to cast my spell or not. And in this case, as you can see, we had a clean burn, which told me that yes, indeed, I was ready to proceed with my spell. And inside, what you see inside are just the herbs that were in there. And also I want to say that usually when I perform this type of work, I would do my bath for, in this case, 3 days for each bath, and on the 7th day, that's when I will cast my spell. But in this instance, I waited 3 days before casting the spell, just because Spirit told me to. And also today, as I realized afterwards, is the new moon is tonight, and today is also Earth Day. So these two occurring on the same day is very good, not something that I plan or walk around with. And to be honest with you, I usually don't work with the moon. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. And the times that I do, it's usually like right now, when Spirit is directing me to work with the moon. So anyway, I am going to go ahead and start with the road opener candle. And how I put these holes was just with this element right here. That's what we use for, I think it's a skewer. That's what we use to put vegetables or meat on the grill. So that's what I use to get my holes. The holes are for the oil to get inside the candle. But that doesn't mean that you are going to put the oil only once, because as long as this candle is burning, we will still be working the spell. So every single day that it is burning, we will still power it, continue to send our intention toward the candle. And also I want to say, usually the wick of the candles, of these candles, are longer, but I like to cut them a little bit, where right now you probably don't see much, but I like to shorten them a little bit, because the longer the wick and the darker the smoke is. And why I don't want dark smoke is because I really use the candle to tell me how the work is going, because I do read the candle depending on how it burns and the signs that appear on it. I read them and interpret what is going on. So what I can control, I do control. So I make sure that, of course, whatever I put in my candle is not too much, because sometimes less is more, and you don't want to put so much things that at the end the candle either doesn't burn, or it's too much that it burns everything and turns everything dark or black and smoky and everything. You don't want that either. So you really want to be careful about what you put in your candle and the quantity that you use for each ingredient. Here for the road opener candle, I'm only using this oil, as I said, the Van oil. Now what I do after I put my oil in, I want to send my intention in the candle. And actually I'm going to send this intention off camera because I am making a few Reiki symbols as well. So I will be right back. So now that I am done with this candle, the road opener candle, I am going to put it aside and then work on the next candle. Again, like the road opener candle, I put holes in this candle as well. Also, like the previous candle, as long as it will be burning, we will continue to send our thoughts, our intention to it until there is nothing left. So I am going to start with the nutmeg. And as I said earlier as well, less is more. So this is enough. And another thing that I do is also to separate what is in the candle from the wick. So I put my nutmeg next. I am going to put the Irish moss. And this is what it looks like, the Irish moss. So that's what I put in the candle, making sure that it also goes in the holes. And if you are wondering how far these holes are, it really depends on how far you can dig, because some candle will let you dig those holes as far as possible, meaning until you touch the glass at the bottom, and some won't. And that is all depending on the wax, on how soft the wax is. So if you have a glass candle that you are trying to dig holes into and you don't go as far, it is okay. You don't have to worry too much about it, because at the end of the day, as your candle is burning, it's going down. So all you really want, you don't necessarily have to dig the holes. You can use your candle without digging any holes and just put your ingredients, your dressing into it, and that is just fine as well. The holes are a matter of preference. So now that I put my Irish moss inside, what I want to do next is to seal with the bayberry oil. And again, we don't necessarily have to pour the whole bottle in, because every day we are going to add a few drops of this oil until the candle is done burning. And what I do next is, as I said, separate everything from the wick, because the closer those things are from the wick and the darker the smoke will be. And black smoke is not a good thing when you burn candles. So we want to avoid that as much as possible. And of course, if the candle is giving us black smoke itself, and by that I mean without any of these things being close to the wick, that is another story. So now that my candle is ready, what is next before I burn it is to take my petition, in this case my sigil, and take my bayberry oil again. So what I want to do with this bayberry oil is really dab each corner of my petition with the oil, and then in the middle, and then I fold that paper toward me. Why toward me? Because I am working towards bringing something to me. So now my petition is ready, and what I'm going to do next is, when I light this candle, I will put the candle right on top of my petition before I light it up, and it will stay this way until the candle is done burning. So now you hear me say until the candle is done burning. That's because whenever I light these candles, these glass candles, I light them once and I let them burn until there's nothing left to burn. So now what I'm telling you is, if this is something that you want to do, of course you want to make sure that you are burning your candle in a safe place and in a safe way, because you don't want to burn your house down. And I'm not asking you to burn your house down. So if leaving the candle burning is something you are not comfortable with, I would say yes, it's okay to burn it step by step. It would take longer, but you will have a peace of mind. This is something I've been doing for a long time, so I know where I place my candles for them to be safe while they burn entirely. And another thing is, if you are using a glass candle like that, what you can do is, wherever you're going to leave it burn, you want to put the candle in another dish with some water in, because it can happen that the glass cracks, and if the glass cracks with the water inside, that is going to solidify the wax, preventing it to spread any further, and the dish that it will be put in will hold onto the liquid inside, so you won't have to worry about the candle burning the place. For instance, this is one way, but as they say, don't leave a candle unattended. So yes, whatever you do, you want to be careful with what you do, how you do it. So yes, you can follow what I am saying here, but follow safety first and foremost, because I'm not asking you to burn down your house or put yourself in situation that is not safe, because that's not the point of what I am doing here. And last but not least, what I'm doing here, please take it as it is for entertainment purpose only. This is my practice. This is my own religion. I'm not asking you to follow it or do as I do. I'm just sharing my passion with you. What I'm going to do next is to infuse my intention into it, and of course I'm going to do that off camera. So we are back, and you see how I prepare both candles, and what is left now to do is light the candle. And I'm not going to light the candles right now because I have a special place where I burn my candles, and it is on my altar, so I will not show that part on the video, but that is what you have left to do. Put your candle on either your altar or in your safe place and send your intention again. And as you are finishing sending your intention, just light the candle. And if you enjoyed this video, then leave a like, comment, and share with your friends and family. If you'd like more content like this one, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for your attention, and see you soon.